Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the second Linux session. I hope you enjoyed practicing the commands that we have been through earlier this week. And I hope that you will be more and more convinced how easy it is to start using Linux. So during today's session, we will be covering more commands that are very useful to start dealing with files. So you will learn how to create and how to edit files using text editors. You will also learn how to view file contents. We will also be seeing some basic commands to manage files and directories. It does include copying files from one directory to another, changing file names, moving from one directory, moving files from one directory to another, copying directories, etc. And by the end of the session, I'll be also going through some useful wildcards that are very handy when you deal with different files on the same time. So hopefully by the end of the session, you will be able to create and edit files using the Nano text editor that I'll be showing you. You will also be able to view file contents, manage your files inside your directories, move them from one directory to another, changing names, etc. And I hope that you will also be able to start making use of the wildcards when it comes to dealing with many data files. So we will start by learning how to create new files using text editors. There are a lot of text editors that are available and that allow you to create and modify text files. But before I'll go through the text editor's details, I'd like to present this command, the touch command, that is used to create, change, and modify timestamps for a file. So basically the touch command is the easiest way to create new and empty file. Originally, the touch command is used to modify the timestamp of a file, which means it's used to change the date and the time of the most recent access to a given file on existing files or directory. But the touch command does create empty files if the file given as an argument does not exist. So the syntax of the touch command is touch. It can be followed by some arguments which are the file names. It can be one file or more files. And you can also add some options, and I'll be going through some examples in a few seconds. You can, as I said, give many arguments to touch. Like, for example, if I type touch file name 1, file name 2, file name 3, it's going to create these 3 files if they don't already exist in your current working directory. Many options can be used with the touch command that allow you to perform different tasks. If you use the option -a, for example, you will be able to change the access time only. And you can also decide to not create the file if it doesn't exist using the option -c. You can, for example, decide to create a file using a specified time that you specify using the option T, etc. But remember that touch without any option does create the file if it doesn't exist in your current working directory. If the file exists by default, it's just going to change the last access time, the last access and modification time only. So as I said in the beginning, touch is very easy when it comes to create simply an empty file, but you definitely need to use text editors to be able to edit these files you create, and the text editors also allow you to create new files. So I'll be presenting the Nano text editor that is really easy to use, and it is installed by default in Ubuntu and in many other Linux distributions. Don't worry, I mean, it should be also installed in your Cygwin if you are using Windows. If not, we will see how to get it installed in a very simple way, simply adding a package to Cygwin. Nano is also easy to use because it's what we call what you see is what you get. So basically, when you type, it goes directly into the text input, and you can see it in your screen. Again, there are a lot of excellent text editors like Vim, Emacs, Gedit, Jenny, and a bunch of other editors that are very handy and very friendly when it comes to writing code, like Perl code, Python code, Bash scripts, or whatever. But we will be covering only Nano. Again, these text editors are excellent, but they require some learning, the learning of the different shortcuts, etc. And you can definitely install any editor you might want to use later on. So let's get started with Nano. So when you open Nano in your computer, you can open it from your terminal by simply typing Nano. Or type Nano followed by a name of a file. When you open Nano in your terminal, you will see a window pretty similar to this one. You will get the name of the program and the version number in the left side of your screen. You will also get the name of the file you are currently editing. Here, for example, the name of my file is testnano.txt. And in the bottom, you will have a lot of shortcuts that you need to know to do some basic operations in your file, like exiting the file, looking for something in your file, looking for something, I mean, trying to search a given string in your file, etc. And here it's also showing that it's a new file. So Nano allows you to create new files and also to edit files. Okay, so let's start playing a little bit with Nano so that you see a concrete example on how we can start making use of Nano to both edit and create new files. So I'm going to ask you to log in, open your terminal, and of course you will be located in your home directory first. Remember that you can check that with the pwd command, and then you can start creating files in any directory you would like to. I'll start by asking you to creating files into session 1. We will move to the directory session 1 and start creating files. Of course, you cannot move directly to session 1 first when you first log in. I mean, you have to either specify the absolute path or move down into the different levels until reaching session 1, of course. So if we try, like, for example, CD session 1, it's not going to work, and we will have to specify the absolute path. I mean, the absolute or the relative path to where we are. So I'll go to open my terminal with you, and we try to create a given file under session 1. So when I first log in, I should be located in my home directory. I can check that using the pwd command. Here is my home directory. So remember, we said we would like to create this under session 1, that is under Linux and under IBT 2017. I'm going to move to IBT 2017. Always remember to use the tab key if you would like to automatically complete the name of your file or directory. So I move it to IBT 2017, and I can check what I have under IBT 2017, of course, using the command ls. I can add the -L to view the details if I would like to. And here I can see that I have genomics and Linux, and we would like to move again under session 1, which is under Linux. So I can move to Linux, and then move to session 1, or I can specify the path to session 1 directly. I mean, either relative to where we are, or an absolute path starting from the root once again. So I'm going to move to session 1, and I'm trying to use the tab to complete the name, but it's not working. Let's check what I do have as a content in this Linux folder. I don't have anything. I did not do my job, guys. I did not create my directories. So I'm going to create session 1 and session 2 under my Linux folder. Remember that you can use the mkdir command to create directories, and here I'm choosing to create 2 directories at the same time. So now when I type ls, I can see that I've created session 1 and session 2. So we would like to create the file under session 1. You can either specify the path with Nano, or move to session 1 and then create your file. So I move it to session 1, and here I'm going to create a file called my first file .txt, for example, or test nano, as I showed you a few minutes ago. So I'm going to type nano, let's say test nano .txt. I'm not obliged to add the extension, but I'm just adding it right now. So my file does not exist. I don't have any file in my directory called testnano.txt. So it's clearly showing here that it's a new file. Again, it's showing the name of the program and the version of Nano that I have installed in my machine. It should be the same for you guys. And you can also see here that it's an empty file, and it's a new file to which we did not add any text yet. You can type any text you would like to add. And then if you would like to exit this file, so the exit is can be done combining the command, the key control with X. So when you type control plus X, it's going to ask you if you would like to save. So it's asking me if I would like to save the changes that I did to my file, and I can put either yes, no, or cancel, which means that I'm not going to exit the file if I choose cancel. So I'm going to hit Y, which means yes, and then it's going to ask me to which file name I would like to write this. So it's showing the name of the file that I gave to Nano. And if I hit yes, it's going to register the file. We can check this with my ls, and you can see that text nano.txt has been created.